Okay, hey guys, my name is Jujubear. We're playing against Master Cos 25 in Total War Rome 2. I'm playing as Cimmeria, and my opponent is playing as Carthage. Now, Cimmeria, the biggest asset that they have are these heavy archers. Excellent units. They have high attack, very good against very good against actually, I don't know. I should really look this up actually, because I'm not sure if archers are better against certain units than slingers. I don't know if it's the same as a tiller or if it's... Oh man, that looks nice. I just got for anyone wondering, I just got the debug camera. I just enabled it. I'm gonna make a video about that, how to enable it very soon. But damn, that looks good. Yeah, I don't know the difference between like archers and slingers. I don't know if archers have better attack versus certain units or which one penetrates armor, but I think it's a slinger. Slingers penetrate armors a little bit better. Anyway, let me introduce you to my army. I'm just going to slow it down here. I've got a hoplite corps. Cimmeria doesn't really have access to excellent cavalry, so I've just got a couple of these citizen cavalry, 2 citizen cavalry, 1 on the flanks each. I brought a lot of these steppe lancers, very light units. Oh, medium shock cavalry. Wow, I didn't realize that. So good weight to them. 34 melee attack, so 51 charge bonus. I'm going to try and take advantage of that. 3 of them, I've got them in the center. 2 of those citizen cav on each flank. I noticed he had elephants, so what I'm doing here is just bringing these steppe horse archers in around his flank. I think he started to notice what I was doing because... Yeah, at the moment I put into flaming shot. I just want to run these guys amok. If you fire like a decent volley of flaming arrows into elephants, they will run amok. And what I mean by running amok is they're not in control of whoever brought them to the battlefield. So at the moment they're on fire at will, so they're firing to the wrong unit, these mercenary Scutari. And he's getting some pretty good shots with these Balearic slingers there. So at this point, I issue an attack order on his elephants. I do get a half decent volley in, and they are being affected with morale from the flanking shot, but I don't think I got enough shots off to make them run amok. At this point, I'm getting peeler tosses, I'm getting shot at by the Balearic slingers. I don't want to lose any more of these units, so I'm just going to have to pull away at this point. I missed my opportunity. It was kind of like too much too early. Like I kind of saw this opportunity, I tried, and I didn't take it seriously. I really should have just sacrificed a unit and gotten another shot in, because they could have wrecked anything within this little vicinity here, because these war elephants, like, you know, 64 weapon attack, 60 weapon damage, they would have just wrecked like 4 or 5 different units for me, and they would have, you know, kind of helped me along in the battle by quite a bit. So I'm going to run away with my steppe horse archers, just kind of provide a nuisance. So I've effectively split up his army here. We've got a lot of units coming up trying to chase down my steppe horse archers. He's sending a lot of these Balearic slingers and infantry units my way, and he's got his main line up here facing off with me. So accompanying these citizen cav are Scythian hoplites. My main line is 4 of these Cimmerian heavy archers. Excellent units. I was talking about them before. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, 3. Wait, what have I done? Oh, I've staggered them. So I've got 1, 2, 3 Cimmerian noble infantry. Now, these guys have encourage, I think. Yeah, so they got encourage. That's why I've split them up. So every second unit, they have a radius around them where they encourage everyone and they provide like a good morale bonus. So he just chases me off and gets actually a pretty good peeler toss there into my steppe, my citizen cav there. So I'm going to run away with my units. So yeah, so I split it up. Like I've got Scythian hoplite, noble infantry, Scythian hoplite, noble infantry, Scythian hoplite, just so that I can split up the morale bonuses evenly across my whole army. So that's my whole army there. In a nutshell, lots of cav, just want to run some hammer and anvils, and a lot of Scythian hoplites just to hold him up while I do that. So my opponent's still trying to chase down my horse archers. He eventually gets them, but that's okay. I don't really mind about that. I don't really care. They're pretty cheap, and splitting up his army like this is good enough for me anyway. So at this point, I'm going to bring the main part of my army down this little hill. I was a little bit slow on micro. You might have noticed by now, but I'm not very good at micro. He gets another really good pillar toss out there. It actually misses all my units, so that was fortunate. So at this point, I'm going to put myself into Hoplite Wall. And they're kind of just walking at this point. These Sam Knight Warriors are going to get a pretty good... I don't know if they have an attack order, but... yeah, they didn't. So I ended up putting an attack order on those men. And meanwhile, this is what I was talking about with the hammer and anvils. Good rear charge there from my citizen cavalry into the backs of these Sam Knight Warriors. They are medium mass, so we're going to get a few kills, nothing too crazy. So we only got 1 kill so far. Wow, that's embarrassing. Now I'm going to have to pull my units out because we've got some support coming in the form of Libyan infantry. So all the while, I'm getting some pretty good shots with my Cimmerian heavy archers, doing some HP damage, no doubt. I'm bringing up a couple of my step... what are these guys called? Step lancers up here, just to help with the engagements. So still trying to pull my citizen cavalry out. It's kind of an awkward spot here with the hill. I've got a good charge issue ordered on with my citizen cav and my step lancer. So we get a good rear charge there with those citizen cav, and then also a very good charge in with the lancers. So these units are pretty tanky. They'll take a lot of damage. These step lancers don't have a huge charge bonus, and again, they're not you know, heavy mass or anything like that. So they're still going to do a fair bit of damage, nothing too crazy. So five kills so far on this Libyan infantry. My horse archers are gone. He managed to catch them against the red line and destroy them at that point. So they are gone. I think that's like 600, 700 talents thrown away. And again, I didn't capitalize on splitting up his army. I really should have just rushed to this sword corps here and enveloped them. But again, Jujubear's not great on the micro today, so so getting a good charge in with my step noble lancers, step lancers. He gets an excellent peeler toss on with the Libyan infantry. Good precursors there on these Libyan infantry. So they're down about 20 men at this point. And all the while I'm getting some pretty good shots off with my Cimmerian heavy archers. Just defending them with the step lancers there. So, and we've got the Scythian hoplite doing, probably not doing heaps well, but they're holding up fairly well against a unit like the Sam Knight Warrior. Which is exactly what I want them to do. I just want them to hold up the enemy, not really do heaps of damage. At this point, I'm pushing up the hill. My opponent's pulling away. Ooh. Yes, my opponent just gets into shield wall. Didn't quite make it, so a lot of his units were flattened by my step lancer. So I'm going to have to pull away at this point before they all get up. Again, he gets a very good peeler toss there. So my opponent doing very well to stagger his units. So while one's being attacked, you know, the other one can throw a peeler toss into my units. So this one down to half strength, this step lancer here. So he's doing a really great job of kind of taking out a lot of my men. So this Scythian hoplite down to 111 men. Not doing heaps, not doing a massive amount of damage on these Sam Knight Warriors. So I noticed they didn't have an attack order, so I'm going to pull my Scythian hoplites away to the rest of my army. I do get a pretty good flank charge with my step lancers into these Libyan infantry. But he does bring his Carthaginian cav out, so I'm going to have to pull away. His Carthaginian cav are also medium melee cav, so at this point I'm just like back, get away. Just clicking or issuing move orders at this point. He is going to chase me off with his Carthaginian cav, though they are exhausted. So this is good. I get a pretty good counter charge off with these step lancers into these Carthaginian cavs. So that's going to help me out a lot. And I'm going to support with these Scythian hoplites that are down to 109 men. So the reason these units are all exhausted is because I had to run, you know, back, forward, you know, doing a lot of running at this point just around the map. So I've got this citizen cav. I got a good rear charge with this other step lancer. So at this point, it's all about enveloping. I'm just going to try and get around and surround my units, my enemy's units, and pick them apart one at a time. So we managed to finish off this unit, and I got my step lancers out. I think these units here are the Carthaginian cav. Yeah, it is. So he's got another Carthaginian cav coming in. I don't think I'm going to take this engagement because there is not enough support. Oh no, I do. Yeah, righto. Okay. So I take the charge from the Carthaginian cav frontally, and I'm going to get a good rear charge with my step lancers there. So these step lancers got 29 kills, doing pretty well. Citizen cav with 31 kills. We're starting off the main line engagements now with the Scythian hoplites up against the Libyan infantry. I'm getting some pretty good shots with these Cimmerian heavy archers. Now this kind of arc fire is going to help me out a lot. The fact that they're allowed to, like, you know, shoot up in the air and then bring these shots right down on the enemy is good for this terrain, because sometimes there's not a clear shot. Like, I can't shoot straight through this hill. So it's helping me out a lot that they can do that kind of thing. At this point, I'm just going to pull away. There's not enough support, so I'm going to have to pull my horses back around this this hill here. I got these Cimmerian heavy archers in a pretty risky spot, so I'm going to pull them back behind these hoplites. And I'm going to try and, yep, here we go. I'm going to try and form up a line here, just to face my enemy. I've got a couple of these units up here in reserve on this flank, just waiting for a better engagement. So you can see I'm keeping all of my men together so I can support myself and help out where needed. So these Cimmerian heavy archers getting 23 kills on a lot of heavily armored units, so making good use of themselves. At this point, he's going to charge into my hoplite wall of my Scythian hoplites. These Libyan infantry are going to do pretty well. He gets a flank charge into my Cimmerian noble infantry, so they're in a really weird, buggy formation there. So good job for my opponent for taking advantage. We get a frontal charge from these Carthaginian cavalry, though he is pretty far away. Oh no, actually he's got support coming in. So he's going to try and support with these units, but it looks like it's a little bit too late because they were down 25 men here, 27 men there. They didn't last. So these noble infantry are going to get in. So if you can see these blue circles here, that's the area of effect of these the encourage ability. So pretty much my whole army is within this little area of effect here. So pretty much every single unit is going to get a morale buff while they're inside that little area. So it looks like we are getting some pretty good shots on these mercenary noble fighters. These guys are going to be freaking tanky as fuck. So I'm going to pull some Scythian hoplites and take them head on. They are getting a downhill charge, so they're going to absolutely shred my Scythian hoplites. That's okay, that's expected. I just want to deal with them as quickly as possible. I've got these Cimmerian noble infantry in the back of these mercenary Sand Knight warriors, so they're sandwiched between two of my hoplite units. I have got this Cimmerian noble infantry general just kind of sitting around playing with itself. He does finish off one of my step lancers with 52 kills there. So at this point, my opponent's doing a really great job of just exploiting different gaps and holes. He does bring his elephant general in, which I believe is a little bit too early because I still have like lots of archers left on the field. I think I notice it at this point, and I'm just going to pour a lot of archer fire into this unit here, just to make sure I can deal with them. So I've got these Cimmerian noble infantry getting a downhill charge on these Libyan infantry here. And I'm crapping my pants at this point because I've got these elephants bearing down on me. I have to try and deal with them. These noble infantry are going to have to hold up in a hoplite wall, doing a great job there. They are very heavy spear infantry, so you can see their masses holding up these warrior elephants pretty well. No doubt he's probably clicking, attack orders into these other units here. But look at the hail of arrows coming in here. A lot of them are dropping fairly quickly. They have got a lot of kills, 41 kills. But it really should be more than this. This is a very risky moment here because I'm going to have to shoot into the area of my own general here. And they're getting attacked by elephants. So not a great situation that I'm in. He's going to bring his elephants over here onto this side of the battlefield. I've managed to finish off a couple of these units over here, but he has brought his elephants over, so I'm going to have to just pour a shower of arrows in. And let me just get this into cinematic view. So a couple of them doing very well there, but they are eventually going to fall. So looks like these elephants are being dealt with pretty quickly. So it was his general's unit. I think so he's out of control at this point. So it's just going to go amok. At this point, I'm just like, fuck, get my general away from that elephant. So these noble infantry holding up very well, doing pretty well against these Libyan infantry, probably going to cut them down at some point. He is finishing off my Scythian hoplites here with his mercenary noble fighters. As expected, very high attack units. He's going to try and get into the back of my units, my Scythian hoplite over here, but I managed to catch him with my Cimmerian noble infantry. I've got my heavy archers that are out of ammo. Now, this is also why these Cimmerian heavies are very useful. When they run out of ammo, they fight with these double-handed spears, and that gives them an insane amount of weapon damage against horse units. Wow, we've got one war elephant hanging around here. Yeah, and they are useful in an infantry engagement, so I have thrown them into a fight here. And you're going to see them rack up, you know, 1 or 2, 3 or 4 kills. I'm getting a good rear charge on these Libyan Gallic warriors, actually, with my citizen cav. And this is what I was talking about, the heavy archers holding up these Gallic warriors with their double spears, and actually getting some kills here and there. So great job from those units, really paying off. I'm going to get a counter charge with these Scythian hoplites onto these Gallic warriors here. Their general has died, so they are suffering morale penalties. So it's a pretty close battle at this point. These Libyan infantry holding up extremely well against my noble infantry, though I'm running out of cavalry, and this is the point where I need the most. So I can deal with his skirmishes. I can run hammer and anvil strikes. So, oh hey, no, I got a step lancer here. So you're gonna see a very good downhill charge with these step lancers. Wow, I actually managed to knock down a lot of my own noble infantry there. So, YOLO man, we got to kill us some Libyan infantry. How else are we gonna do it? So I'm gonna go straight on ahead and hit up these Balearic slingers. So it looks like it's the skirmisher face-off here. We got the what are these guys? Balearic slingers with their little daggers and shields against my Cimmerian heavy archers with their double-handed spears. This guy's doing really well, actually. Oh, we're going to stand up and run away, are we? Yep. So I've issued an attack order over here onto this Balearic slinger because it's causing me damage. At this point, I'm going to get a good rear charge with my citizen cav. It looks like they're just dealing with stragglers here. So the odd Libyan infantry or Scutari, they're going to have to deal with them before they get any rear charges. And I'm going to chase off these Balearic slingers with my heavy archer. These are step lancers. Again, they're in combat too long. If you leave them in combat for a little bit too long, they'll start getting ripped apart. And you can see these Balearic slingers they're not really pushovers by no means, but eventually they are going to get enveloped and destroyed. So this noble fighter fighting pretty much down to the last breath. So 78 men left in this unit. They're exhausted in melee. Unit losing. They've lost their general. I did end up catching these Balearic slingers. Kind of weird terrain bugs there, and these step lancers are going to rout. So excellent game from my opponent. Oh hey, we'll catch this last rear charge here. Boom, downhill. Just going to knock down a whole bunch of my own men there. But good job. Yeah, this debug camera, how fucking good is it? Hey, I'm still getting to grips with it, you know. Sometimes sometimes, you know, you press a button and all of a sudden your camera's on the other side of the map. So really funny shit happens like that. Whoa, what a shot. I'm gonna go back and get some nice screenshots there. So, Pyrrhic victory, great job, Master Cos 25. Good, excellent play. He's really got his head screwed on when it comes to the total war. My Cimmerian noble infantry doing an excellent job. Lots of kills, held up lots of units, but man, MVPs, these Cimmerian heavy archers getting a lot of kills. 121, 109, 114. This one didn't do so well. Must have been the ones that I lost earlier on. The horse archers did a good job of separating up his army at the start, but they didn't really pay for themselves. And my Scythian hoplites, good units at just holding up the enemy. Not really getting any kills, if any, but great job at holding up the enemy here. My opponent, wow. Fucking hell, these war elephants. If they had been used a little bit later on in the game, and if he had dealt with my skirmishes before anything else, he would have just taken that match out, hands down. African war elephants getting over 100 kills, great job there. And his Balearic sling is actually getting a lot of kills. That's really unexpected. I didn't really think they were doing that much, but 150, almost 200 on that unit there. Libyan infantry, excellent units for the price. And man, these noble fighters doing a great job, 255 there. So thanks for the game, Master Cos 25. We'll see you guys next time. Jujubear signing out. Woo!